Hey, everybody, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, with another 10ish-minute review getting into cricket fever. That's right, World Cup cricket fever, um, which is right in line with the film I'm talking about today. So I'm excited. The men's T20 World Cup, June 2024, June 5th, India versus Ireland. Can't wait, can't wait. So, back to the viewer choice poll, and I'm happy to say that after the last couple of films that have been pretty dark and a little bit depressing, we do a much more upbeat, true story, which is M.S. Dhoni, The Untold Story from 2016. It's directed by Mathur, Goswami, Neeraj Pandey, who directed Baby and Oh Wednesday, both two movies I really liked. Sushant Singh Rajput, Detective Byomesh Bakshi, and PK. Kiara Advani, who was in Kabir Singh, which I just saw. Disha Patani, Anupam Kher, who was in Baby a Wednesday, and Sandeep Nahar, who was in Kesari. So this is a true story about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, an Indian professional cricketer known as one of the best wicket keepers and batsmen and one of the most revered captains. A couple things about the film: the school in this film and the house where the family lived were the actual houses of Donnie. Um, he does this famous helicopter shot, which they spend a lot of time in this film, which is a real thing, and it was actually taught to him by a friend and became his famous move. The wedding dress in this film was the actual wedding dress of the actual Sakshi Dhoni. That's what she wore. And finally, the manager of Dhoni, now, it is the manager, so you take this with a grain of salt, said 98% of this film was based on reality, things that actually happened. So let's start with the story. The story is about a young boy, Mahendra, who originally wanted to play football and was a goalkeeper and was very good. And the cricket coach wanted him to play cricket. But he really had no interest in that till he saw his father. And some of this I didn't quite understand. So there's a cricket field at this school, but it's dried out because of a drought. And from what I understood, they could only water it like 15 minutes a day. So the father, Donnie's father, ends up going in at 11 o'clock at night to water the cricket field for 15 minutes. And in one of these nights, Mahendra goes to see him do this. And that somehow is the catalyst for him wanting to play cricket. Okay. So as the movie progresses, he's a wicket keeper only because he was a goalie in football. And that's all they're using him for. And he wants to bat, but the coach doesn't want him to bat. So one practice, the coach couldn't get there on time. So one of the other guys let him bat, and he's knocking the ball all over the place. So he's this unbelievable batsman. So then they show the progression of that. So they show his career advance from the school to I don't even know where he was playing till he gets to the professional cricket, right? But at one point, he has to take a government job to continue to play cricket, and ends up working in a train station. I think he's a ticket counter, a TC ticket counter, and he does that for a while. And those scenes are kind of interesting too. He's running in and out through the trains, trying to, he's got to have it timed perfect. But as that happens, you could see him getting more and more frustrated with one, the futility of the job, but two, because all he wants to do is play cricket. That's what he wants to do, and he's not able to do it yet because he's got this job. And it is interesting. He's got these friends who also do this, and that's a thing about this movie too. He's got a core of friends that stick by him for his entire career, and as he becomes more and more famous, he sticks by them. And I really like that part of the film. I thought that was really great, the camaraderie, and apparently that's what this the real person was really like. So 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 then he falls in love. He meets a girl on an airplane who wants someone else's um, autograph, doesn't know who he is, and she was Priyanka, and lovely actress. And that ends in tragedy on Valentine's Day. They're on the phone. They're talking about what they're going to do on Valentine's Day. And then he can't get in touch with her. Well, he finds out she got killed in an accident. So that affects his gameplay. Till he comes out of that, then he's starting to play better. So then he meets another girl. And this was his actual, he ends up marrying her. And again, her name was, I want to pronounce it right because I never do. Wait, I got it here. Sakshi, right? Yeah, Sakshi. And she was lovely, but she had no idea who he was. And that's why he was attracted to her. So, and now there's a scene where it's a Valentine's scene again. And she says, I'm not going to see you on Valentine's Day. And he flashes back to Priyanka and they hang up because it's almost like she says she loves him and he doesn't really respond because he's thinking about that. Well, he calls her right back and says, "Marry me." It was a really sweet scene. It was really nice. Um, so the movie concludes with the World Cup in 2011 in India, where he has an amazing run of the batsmen, and they end up winning. And it's his journey along that way. As he becomes more famous and more powerful, he makes some decisions. He wants to get people off the team because he says they're not good fielders. And I guess back in the day that caused some problems, but it worked because they won the World Cup. There was also, he didn't. It wasn't one of these things where he was successful at every level. He wasn't, and he even admitted it that there were times when he failed. But it's funny when he failed. It was interesting. When he failed, he learned from it, and he even said it made him much better to go through that, which was nice. And this movie, you think of the Karate Kid, you think of Rocky, you think of baseball movies, and that I watch. It's not a new story, but the fact that it's real and this really happened to this person, the way this happened, I just loved, and I'm going to give the story a 4 because even though it's not a news story, right? But it is a real story, and this person's life was pretty amazing, and he's revered in India. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and it built up to that fun because they start with the 2011 World Cup, then everything's done in flashback, and then it ends with the 2011 World Cup. So you see the conclusion, and it was just that that fight scene at the end or the home run to win the game. I loved it. I loved it. Now the performances, I thought all the performances were really good, and I also understand that some of the special effects, because they used a lot of footage from the actual events, and they superimposed the actor's face on the real player. And I have to tell you, there's no time where you look at it and go, "Oh, that's not him. That's not him." He looked. Now I've seen a few cricket movies. Okay, 83, Lagan. Um, and this guy looked like he could play. The actor, um, Sushant, he really looked like he could play. I mean, he looked, and from what I understand, he practiced for months to not only be look effective, but look like Dhoni, the way he carried himself, the way he swung the bat, all that. So he really looked like he could do this. Very athletic. So that really impressed me. Um, the girls in this, the women in this, were okay. I mean, it's not like they did much, to be honest with you. I mean, the one scene where she was, "I love you," but he didn't respond, and she kind of broke down. Yeah, I mean, but the guys, his group of guys, there was one guy in particular, um, Sandeep Nahar. I don't remember what his character's name was, but he was the guy that worked in the stand. He had the turban on all the time, big guy, but he was the guy that was trying to get um, Dhoni in all these cricket teams and everything. I really liked that character, but the whole group of guys was great. I loved it. His coach, his father and mother. Again, this is one of these movies where he loves his mother and father. His mother and father support him. So it wasn't like he was fighting with his dad. He called his dad. He loves his family. He loved his friends, and he always kept with them. So I really like that. So I'm going to give the performances a 4. The music, the music was very rock. The background music, it was inspiring at the end of the film, and the only real, like, I would say, songs were always love songs. Um, they were always when he was like dating the girl or first met the girl, and they were okay. I mean, they didn't really do anything for me. I really like the incidental music. I'll give the music a 3. Not great, but I thought inspirational at the end, especially. So overall, I'm going to give this movie a 4. I liked it. It was inspiring. I did a little research on the actual uh, player, so this movie made me want to do that, and I'm looking forward to. I still don't understand a lot of the scoring in cricket, other than a sixer, and it went outside the bounds, that type of thing. But I really enjoyed this film, and it was much different tone than the last couple of films I've watched. I think I appreciated that too. It was nice to watch something inspirational. So yeah, that's it for a D no MS Dhoni, The Untold Story. So thank you for recommending that. Looking forward to watching the World Cup on June 5th. Don't know what the next film I'm going to watch is, so it'll be a surprise. So thank you again for watching. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the feedback. As always, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and good luck, India, on June 5th. I cannot wait. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk to you soon with another 10ish minute review. Thanks, everyone.